Welcome to the AnyGames.ie podcast, the home of five-a-side, grassroots and amateur football in Ireland. Our goal is to build a community, connecting people in Ireland through football, discussing the latest news and developments across the country and interviewing the people behind local clubs and organisations, with some Premier League talk in there too. You can catch all our episodes on Spotify and YouTube, get involved in a community on AnyGames.ie and find us on social media through Facebook, Instagram and X. If you like what you hear, follow us, give us a like and get involved in the comments. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the AnyGames.ie podcast with me, Gav.
And me, Dave.
And today we're joined by a very special guest, our first special guest on the podcast, Liam Tiernan, aka Nelson. How are you doing?
All good, lads. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, I appreciate you coming down. Obviously, we're going to get into your position at Finglas United and your involvement with the club. But can we start, I suppose, with your football history from growing up, how you got into football, and give us a bit of a background into your football.
Yeah, I grew up in Finglas South down on Virginia Drive.
Sorry to hear that.
We all have our problems, yeah. I was soon out there when I was 15 or something. I got out there, got a bit of sense. But so it was a cul-de-sac. So in there we had a little square, and you know yourself, Anton, you can use it as a goal. So one was a pillar, and then you put a jack on the other side, and then there's bollards down the end of it, and a car smashed through the bollards, which created a perfect goal for us facing exactly where the bollards. Yeah, so as you said, you can use what you can for a goal. So we used that. So every day was just as yourself, as a kid, out playing game of squares on the volley, whatever, long shots, one touch, hit the pole, all the old games that are probably disappeared now at the moment.
Yeah, if you can't play them on technology, they're not worth playing anymore.
Exactly, yeah. So so all that. Then I think it was about 8 or 9. I can't even remember what age it was. My friend Ken Dunn, who hung around me, I can't remember, we came up to Finglas or Wefta, I think it was. And I said, "Where you going?" So I'm going training. So I said, "Can I go with you?" So my mad didn't know where it was gone. She goes back then, "You had the mission at dinner there." I said, "Where were you?" "I was up training." Okay, 8, 9 years of age or something gone out the road. But, so I started at Wefta with them. I was playing a year. I was 9 and I was playing on 11s. So I can't remember playing at the small sort of goals around it. I can only remember.
You went straight
then
in.
The 11 side, yeah.
Yeah.
So the lads I played with, looks at Barry McGowan, who has obviously Ken Dunn, a few Joe Fox, a few of them lads and all. So, so I played them for 2 years, and then the rule change came in, and I moved back down. I think I was playing left wing or right wing at that stage, and then Liam Donnelly asked me to come down to his team. He put me in sweeper, so I hadn't got a clue what a sweeper was. You had to kind of
You thought you were getting handed a brush.
Yeah, you look for a janitor around here. But so went in sweeper. Then the art of heading the ball and tackling kind of came in. I could read the game probably. Yeah, I thought I was good at reading the game of where you should be defending wise and stuff like that. So, I think the problem was that when I won the ball back, I tried to run the pitch every time. Like, so in my head, I was hearing the match of the day, and they were going off like and I was going up the pitch. So that was probably one of my downfalls.
Just taking everything into your own hands.
Yeah,
As soon as you got the ball, you were going to take control of that game.
You just take it easy, boys. I got this. But I was still doing it on 40. Still doing it now.
And how did you find dropping back down to sort of what should have been your age group originally? Did you find that having played with the older lads, the bigger lads, helped?
Yeah, 100%. Like, as I said, I was quiet. The lads, obviously, they were hitting at a different age than I was. Obviously, the year difference, probably a year and a half difference in some of them. So they are starting to turn into, like, obviously, a lot of them from the West and all, kind of different personalities than I would.
Yeah.
And when I moved back down, I just felt that I could handle myself a little bit better in the team, and was probably one of the senior lads in the team. Obviously only a kid.
Yeah.
Still felt
having played with the bigger lads
exactly,
before that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And being used to that, you probably felt just naturally that, you know, the rest of these were kids where you were just that bit older, like having played with the bigger lads.
Yeah.
And that was all with Wefta, was it?
Oh, Wefta, yeah. My school was always Wefta, yeah. We had a good side there. Like, we 2 Ireland finals, under 13s, under 15s. Under 16s, we won the Premier the 16 Premier, and then 17s we won the DSL Cups. A few Crockers on our team, Dave Summers, Darren O'Brien, few 3 lads actually from the country playing with us as well. We played down New Farm, I think it was New Farm, was it? Down Roscommon, and 3 lads off the team used to travel up every week then for us. Then after that game, they joined us. So that
was the pull that Finglas United Wefter would have been at the time.
Exactly.
Lads coming up from the country and everything to play.
Yeah, and that's the effort they were going to. Like, so you're thinking about lads now that won't walk 10 minutes up the road to go training, and these lads travelling 3 hours up and back for a match, like, you know.
Yeah, it's mad when you hear a lot of lads from sort of our generation talking about going to training, or like you were saying, even when you were 8, you just went. You know, like your parents weren't there holding your hand. Like, you see so much of it now where on a match day, like, you've nearly every parent on the sideline, and like you feel like
at training as well. Yeah,
even at training, like there's crowds of them. Like, and for you as a coach, like, you feel like you're nearly looking after a professional team. Like, that you've got a full, not, I wouldn't say a stadium, but you've got a crowd at every game. Almost, you know what I mean? Just with the sport, and like that, they're getting dropped off the train, getting collected afterwards. As you said, at training, you might have 20 parents sitting outside watching the training as well. Do you know that way?
You can even put down to, I wouldn't say scrutinising thing, but kind of obviously if you do say something that's out of sorts, or whatever way you're talking to the kids or getting your message across, it could be picked up wrong by the parents. And listen, sometimes you do say things that you're kind of be staring on the kids or whatever, and it gets picked up because they're there, you know. I'm not saying you should hide it in any way, like, but just saying it can't get misinterpreted. Like, years ago, you went home and you said to your dad, the man just give me a box. You would have said, what did you do? You must have deserved it. Like, that was the response back then. Now it's so different. Like,
go up and apologise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you find it distracting having parents there? Like, would you rather they weren't there?
Yeah, I think so. Like, listen, it's their kids. Their best interest is their kids. I think you can drop the kids off and come back at the end of the hour. But listen, that's an interest you have in the kids, but it is distracting to a certain extent, especially if we're the all weather pitches now. Your coach, where pitches laid out, you're right beside the parents sometimes, and your conversation you're having with the kids, the parents could disagree with what you're saying, and they could overhear. Like, do you know what I mean?
So I had my young one up at Rat Out for a bit, but I just drop her off at training. I didn't want to see, like, not that I didn't want to see what was going on, but just leave her to it and let the coaches do it. Just let them.
Yeah, the coach is coach.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, and like even at that, like I'd leave, because if one of them did say something to her, I'd be like, if I felt like I was going to say something or whatever, I'd be like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So just leave and don't be, I suppose, don't be parenting the coaches. Do you know? Like,
yeah, true.
Yeah, I even found it myself before I started coaching with Finglas United. When I was dropping the kids down, you would get a good few parents that were coaching from the sideline as well. And I know the leagues have campaigns for silent sidelines and all that sort of stuff, and you know, you do get the odd parent nearly trying to live their dream through that kid, and others as well are there kind of scrutinising what the manager's doing or tactical decisions, and it's difficult, especially when from a voluntary point of view. Do you know what I mean? You're down there just to help out the club, to help out the kids, and you do from time to time. It's not all the time, and I've been very lucky in the couple of years that I've been doing it. I haven't had too much backlash, let's say, from parents, but I think it's definitely more prevalent nowadays than it ever was.
Yeah, like, you're the coach though, obviously, and your son plays with the team. That's the reason you kind of became a coach of that team.
Yeah.
If you weren't the manager and you were just the parent, obviously you deal with the 8s as well. So when you're young lads, but the 8s, you do have different opinions and you do have your own things. Some people say it vocally, and some parents probably won't, just go home and don't say anything. So it's not going to go away. It's in every club. It's in every grassroots club here, England, everywhere across. Unless you ban the parents from the sideline, it's going to be there. So it's how you maintain and how you look after things. Obviously, one is obviously do things right and by the book, and it's the safeguarding and all that stuff has to come across. Code of ethics has to come across. But that you can do all that and you're good.
And it's like that with the FAI safeguarding and even the club's own protocol. I mean, I know for ourselves, there's 3 coaches for our team, and we wouldn't have we would never have a scenario where there's only one coach there. There's always at least two of us there.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's just to safeguard the kids, to safeguard ourselves. And like you said, there is parents there constantly, so it's never been safer. Like we used to jump in the back of the manager's work van, and there could be like 15 of us in the back of that van all squeezed in, holding on for dear life. Do you know what I mean? Go down,
the place, do you know what I mean?
Covered in paint, getting out the back of the thing, So it's safer. It's safer than it's ever been. But I think it's one of those issues that coaches have to deal with in the modern era. But going back to your history in football, then, at what point did you kind of finish up with WEFTA?
We went all the way to 18s, like, so we went through obviously a couple of representative squads there. We played the Leinster team against the Westfalen and Jim, and so there was obviously getting on the representative, so it was getting noticed by a couple of things. And then UCD came in when I hit 18s. Then UCD came in after up your scholarship. Probably picked the wrong person there because me and Skill didn't really get on. Like, you squeezed a leaving cert out somehow. But
must have been some sort of community service or something you were doing, was it? Some charity thing.
It was P. Matt, and he was a local Finglas lad as well. He was the manager up there, so him and Eddie Wallace used to come watch our games. Myself, Darren O'Brien, went over. Darren's been best mate like since we were kids. Like, I'll be true. So sorry, go back to the story that we won the 16 Premier, and that year we beat Stella Maris in the playoff for the league, and nearly every player of Stella Maris went away and signed for the club, and not one of our lads off the team actually went on trial. No, and we were the champions of Dublin at that stage.
I heard you talking about this on your own podcast.
Yeah,
and you were saying it's more the connections that the club had.
It had to be
to the likes of scouts and stuff.
Yeah, it had to be.
Who was giving out the call, because it wasn't based on talent or the top performers or the winners of the league should have been looked at.
So how could it be like if you're the best team technically by winning the league?
Yeah.
And how can you not be the best team with the best players?
Yeah.
Or some of the best players. I'm not saying everyone was. There were at least 3 or 4 lads that could easily went away in trial. No, not even the sign, just a call to go across the water for a couple of days or something.
Do you still think that goes on
100%
these days?
Jesus,
that it's nearly who you know, not what you know.
Listen, obviously we're always going to say that because you're always saying that we didn't get picked. We're gonna create a small club mentality thing, but it's not. Of course, it's going across around. You'll see it easily.
And I actually wanted to get onto this later in the episode, but I'll bring it up now because it's relevant with you, as you said, like that kind of small club mentality or whatever it might be for the likes of a WEFTA or what's now known as Finglas United. Is it difficult keeping players for reasons like that? Like, you might have a really good team, as you said, like you were after winning 16 Premier. If the lads, let's say, come off the back of that and they see all these lads going over from Stella Maris or whoever it might be and getting trials, do they start thinking to themselves, I'm not sticking around at WEFTA anymore because nobody's going to have a look at me here? Do you know what I mean? Even though the team might be brilliant, the club might be doing really well, but because they don't have the connections that maybe Estella have at that time, that they're not going to get the opportunities abroad.
That's the carrot the dangle, isn't it? Like, come up here, we get your trials.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's the first open line of every conversation that someone from, not say Stella or any club, one of the lads there, that's the first thing they say is, listen, come up here and I'll get your trials. And once you hear that, oh, will you? Yeah, it's great. I'm nearly there, one foot in the door in England.
Yeah.
Would you look at it, the percentage of lads that actually make it from Ireland is 1%, probably, is it?
Yeah, like it's such a small percentile. Myself and Dave were talking about this the other week. It's obviously one of the most played sports in Ireland, if not the most played sport in Ireland. And when you try funnel all that talent down into a small pool just to get across the water, or even to play in the League of Ireland, it's very difficult to stand out in the crowd.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's really difficult. Like, so
especially
I suppose that nearly ties into what we're saying. If you think there's an edge going to a different club, that's going to make you stick out.
With the lads that we had there all stuck together, I don't think anyone went back. We attracted more players. Like to get Barber came and played, was a few lads off Stella that never went across, came to us, like, because we were mainly because we were local in around the area, but because we had a good structure. Liam Donnelly was a good manager, he head of the game at that stage. Foxy was our manager as well. So it was good atmosphere, but as you're saying there, it does happen a lot younger age, and it does happen now it's the League of Ireland connection. Now it's not going across and through. It's the League of Ireland connection that people are kind of chasing at the moment. So but at the moment now we've a good connection, not good connection, but 3 or 4 lads from the 14s are going up to Drogheda. They're in the later stages of that now. So that's just trying to say we're building a good structure here for other pathway from academy to senior, top senior Sunday football, academy to top senior Saturday football, academy to League of Ireland as well. That's the process that we're trying to get in. Yeah, maybe it'll be a slow process over a few years, but that's what we're trying to get in place. Yeah. So I
have to say, being involved, I love being involved in the club. I've said it today so many times, and you can see the progress in terms of the work that goes on behind the scenes, but also, you know, it's clear and evident now with the new facilities, the sheer volume of players that are at the club, the number of teams,
345,
the number of volunteers. I mean, it feels like you're really part of something.
Yeah, and that's it takes. We're all going to build it together. Like, that's not going to be one. Like Foxy's obviously kept the club to get the standard at that, and then we're all going to start chipping in now and going forward. Like, that's the plan. After Christmas we'll have a bigger structure of where we want to be now in a year or 2 years, and that we'll try to put that in practice step by step to get. Hopefully I'm not saying we're a small club, but probably the biggest in Finglas Schoolboys was, and surrounding it is to a certain extent. Yeah. But we want to get the more professionals. We only have one Premier side in the club, and we want to try and push that up the next few years up to 3, 4, 5, and kick on from there. You know.
Brilliant.
That's it.
So take us back then to your time at UCD then.
Yeah. So we went in on the scholarship, a couple of trials, and they actually created a course for us because the points that we received was enough for us to get into the sports management was a course. So they created one there. There's a good PLC course in UC itself. So it was every day going over for college in the morning, which was a great laugh, an hour and a half on the bus.
There's some trek to Belfield, isn't
it? Yeah, exactly. But then you do your day at college, and then you go train that night and then get the bus home. So it was a lot. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. We played 21s. Some good players, Brian Shorthall, Paul Bourne, probably a few lads that had good careers in League of Ireland. Gary Dickers was there for a while as well, so it's good bunch of lads there. That's what Brian mate went as well. So the first year we won the Dr. Tony Neal Cup, which is the 21 league. Yeah. I got man of the match in that one. I'll tell you who I marked now, but it's a story I'll tell everyone after a few beers. Shane Long.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got man of the match in that one. So listen, I was proud of fucking points of myself, and the next step would be the first team, and you're trying to push that, but you're not getting, never getting near it. Not the way I played. I played on the edge. One we had was women tackles, but also took risks on the ball, which was kind of frowned upon.
You didn't fit the system.
Well, listen, the system back then was you win the ball, you kick it up to give to someone else that can play football, or you kick it up the pitch. Yeah, League of Ireland at that stage.
And you were still playing sweeper at this stage,
I was playing centre half, yeah.
Playing centre half. Yeah. So they definitely didn't like you taking risks on the ball. Sure, you were the last man.
I played one, yeah, exactly, yeah. I think I played one game, was against Shamrock Rovers in the FEI Senior Cup. Tremloy got him sent off. Mark him got him sent off. He can punch you in the back of the bleeding head. He got himself sent off. I just took the punch, but
took it like a champ.
He took it like a champ. He kept saying, "People, get the ball, get rid of it. Get the ball, get rid of it." Took the ball down on my chest. Took a touch. Hit the ball. I was going to say 20, 30 yards. Wasn't about 15 yards. Pass to someone else. Half time off. You're not doing what I told you. You win the ball. You clear the ball. So. That's me, probably.
So you think you played football at the wrong era?
Yeah, probably so.
At the wrong time.
Because I would have been shooting in all areas.
But like, if you think about how football is played at the top level now, yes, all centre halves now have to be good on the ball.
But look at the most passes on the pitch. It comes from your centre halves. We'll have the most passes.
Yeah, it's all about retaining possession, passing side to side.
And I think it's going to take a turn again. It's going to go more direct now. I think a lot of teams are getting joys out of it. Looks at Liverpool and all that. They're giving out about getting long balls.
You see,
don't play the system.
Yeah, you see it with City now, where they're lumping it up front or playing it over the top and just letting Haaland do his thing.
They're picking up the second ball higher up the pitch, and then they can play then. We win the ball back then, and then we're playing in the third instead of passing the ball 30 times to get there. Yeah,
and it's even the same with United. When Sesko's on the field, hit the big man, flicks it on, and Boomer runs in behind.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's we've been talking about it before.
No football.
Do you like that? Do you like that? That's why you signed me. That's why you signed me.
Tactics board out there. Where's that?
But
Yes.
like we obviously do a review of the Premier League every week, so we pretend like we know what we're talking about. But we did notice it now, and I think everybody's noticing it, the set pieces, the importance of set pieces, the importance of long throws, all that's coming back into the game. So it's definitely, these things are always trends. Like you went from
fashion. The fashion comes back around every couple of years. Like so, it's the football does as well.
We all slag Stoke for so long, and Rory Delap's long throw in. So we're going back now.
Yeah, there you go.
So where did you go after UCD then, or how did that finish up?
So second year, captained the second year, and we won it again. The 21 league won that again, beat Shells in Talca Park. So everything was going good, but then you're kind of saying to yourself, I was hitting 21, 22, and you're saying to yourself, I was 21, was he? I want to push into the first team, and just the opportunity wasn't there. Tony McDonald was there, centre half. Conor Kenna was there, Alan McNally. These lads are bleeding lethal centre halves, you're not going to get in there. So I kind of bit the bullet, and in fairness, you kind of know yourself that you're not at that level. Yeah, I was probably a little bit skinny at that time. Probably only about bleeding 13 stone or whatever it was, 14 stone. No, 13 was it? So the physique boys wasn't there. The extra training wasn't there from yourself either. So dedication probably wasn't there. So I asked to leave, and Kildare came in for me. Kilkenny came in for me. I asked to go down to play Division 1 League 1. So I went down there. Aidan Fitzpatrick, I think the manager was. But that's another aspect of things, looking at things. Like, so you're only getting €50 travelling expenses off them. So at that time off them. And you're going down, the first game is down Cove, the tip of the bottom of Cork. And
are you meeting them in Kilkenny and then driving down?
No,
they bring you down.
Everyone was from Dublin, so we trained in Bushy Park. I'll give you a story as well. You're training actually in Sundrive, and you're warming up, and Aidan says, "Here's the park Range Rover, boys. If he says that, right, we're inner city kids from the deprived area, so just play the paupers and all that." The man goes over, "What are you doing here?" "Oh no, just these are lads out of a group here. We're just training them now, trying to get them going, keep them off the streets and all." I say to myself, this is Division 1 League 1, bro. Everyone thinks I live in the low. I live on the €50 travelling expenses. Like,
Jesus, that's tough going.
Yeah, well, listen, that's what was happening back then. Like, but I enjoyed it. It was a good
so, like, if you had
experience.
your away games and stuff, like you were saying, you're playing down in Cove, you were just meeting them down there.
No, they picked us up here in the bus. We met them.
Okay.
Yeah, like the coachmen's or some one of them places on the motorway there that'll bring you straight down. Like, so we meet up on that. But down in Cove, my first match down there, played the match, come back, and that's the day the clocks went forward. So the clocks went forward. I think it was forward, yeah. So you're getting home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then he's like, meets us in Bushy Park tomorrow for a training session. Like, so all that dedication. Your job is out to play a window at that stage.
Yeah. And how long did you last there then?
I've done a season there. Got the manager the sack, and then I left.
It's a bit of a trend developing here, isn't it, Dave?
I came back to Finglas then, to Wefter, sorry. Played a couple of seasons with Wefter. We won actually, I think it was the fourth season I came back, must have been in 2007, 2008, and around that we won the Leinster Junior then with Wefter. Great team there we had. All local lads, all mates. Fucking best part of the match day would be the showers after the crack that you was having there, the slaggings. You know yourself, after the win, great win, the slaggings. Then you're down to the pub then at 1 or 2 o'clock for a few points for after, and then
just the social aspect of it.
I loved it because everyone were all the same age. And we're all.
And so still a lot of the lads that you'd played with, schoolboy
we
and all.
all came back. Yeah, we all came back.
Like the school reunion, was it?
Like school reunion it was, yeah. All up the principal's office. But
John Fox.
Yeah.
Handing out suspensions.
We had a great team. We came second in the league that year. We had a great team, and Jay Dunn, who's the Irish 15's manager now, Stephen Gagan, who Shell's legend, he came in, he was our manager. So a good platform we had there, but things just started to fall to pieces. A few lads, as you were saying about lads we've gone of getting trials or kind of bigger teams.
Being promised things elsewhere. It's
obviously the titles just speak to themselves. So the lads are just going to try and go win things. I think a few went down to Talca, a few went to, can't even remember where I went after that. I think I stayed for a bit. Then down to Colester, I think I went to actually chasing a trophy myself. But I didn't get a game.
Did you get a medal even?
Nah. Silver one, for second. No, yeah, but
close enough.
I ended up going back down to Kildare got asked to go down to Kildare then, and back to League of Ireland. With as done a season there.
You're going to tell us that you didn't get a game there either?
No, they got a game there, but again, here's me being caught in the ball again. But we're playing Sport and Finglas down there, and scored a cracker off the ball, coming across, received me left foot, top corner. Best moment of my life, Jimmy. The static, the thrill, don't they? Goosebumps to the back of your head and all.
Yeah.
Great it was. I was going to say packed stadium.
Still dream about it to this day, dude.
Yeah, but then the next time the ball kicked off, we won the ball back. I get the ball, feeling cocky, done a step over. Gary O'Neill comes in, takes the ball off me. He goes up and scores. Because a picture of the man just looked at me like that. I'm going to boost you. So that, from here up to 0, the end up being it was 4-3 or something. But that was another season, and then sure I came back to amateur football, and that was it.
And were you here? So I should just clarify for anybody listening here, was talking about Finglas United and then talking about WEFTA. So the club was formerly known as WEFTA, and then WEFTA and Mellows BDS amalgamated to create Finglas United. Which leads me on to the next question. Were you here during that time, during that transition?
Yeah, so we played for the last Mellows team. Actually got played here for the last Mellows team that year. Sound very cocky, don't they? I should have said that, sorry.
you've got all these cracking goals and all these man of the matches, and
yeah, I know.
Playing Shane Long off the pitch, and you haven't got a single trophy or a medal to show for it.
I haven't even got the trophy or the man of the match. I think my man bleeding soda. But yeah, so I was there for that. Yeah, the changeover, and it was welcomed. Like, we were in the same park, and anyway, we left that, and Mellows in the same park. The schoolboys was getting bigger down in there, and Webster had no senior team, and Mellows had a great setup for the senior setup. So, but yeah, I was there, but it was good. That good work with both parties there, and look where we are now, 10 years later. So,
yeah, and was that? I mean, obviously, if you look at the club now, you'll think that must have been a smooth transition, and you know the club is obviously thriving now. Was it as smooth at the time? Can you remember? Was there many issues that came up? Like, was there?
I don't think it was. Obviously, it wasn't. We wouldn't have seen that sort of things because we wouldn't be involved in the committee as much. It was more Tommy, Casey, and John Fox kind of sorting things out. But the offer went out to all the clubs around. I think it was just only the two lads. The lads are saying, "Listen, there's too many clubs in one area. I think it'd be better if we get one big club together, your name or whatever. We come up with something, and we can get easier grants and obviously parks or facilities and all." But the only ones that agreed to it was Mellows and Wefta. So everyone else kind of stuck to their own, but
yeah,
well and so.
It's a topic. Yeah, it's a topic I want to come back to later in the podcast. But I suppose we'll just maybe bookend your footballing career.
Yeah, okay.
So at what point then did you kind of? I know you're still playing now. Are you playing over 35s now?
Yeah, well, that was a struggle last year. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm just gonna knock on the head. That's me done. I'd say. I'll play a match if they're stuck or something. But yeah, it's getting too hard now.
And you're done. So I want to then talk about what your current role is here in Finglas United, and maybe give us a bit of a heads up on what that looks like.
Yeah. So it's the head of football. Finglas United. I started there about a year and a half ago. John asked me to step in because it's part of the club mark. That you need to have a director of football in place. So it wasn't like, listen, the FUI want that as part of it, so it has to be done. Like, but it's just someone that's going to look after the structure of the schoolboys, obviously, and then bring the coaches on it as well. Kind of
so your role is required by the FAI to get for the club to get the accreditation.
Yeah, every club will have to have one.
Yeah.
So we're actually in the process of doing a club mark now of yourself, guard event and safeguard and all that, trying to get through. Which I think is kind of a bit hard because the FUI don't know where they are with their own ship, where they're making lads redundant after Christmas and making them apply for their own jobs. So part of the parcel is you have to get lads on coaching courses, which are non-existent now because...
Yeah, and it's difficult as it is because I think I'm in my third year of coaching now, and I have the FAI account and all that sort of stuff, and you're looking online for courses, and I mean, there's very few places available as it is. So now, obviously, the resources are going to be cut by all accounts, and they're going to be losing staff and everything else. So that's only going to make that more difficult.
Yeah.
And as you said, if coaches need, say, PDP1 whatever it might be, for the club to get the accreditation, but the FAI at the same time can't provide that course. Do you know the kind of way?
Exactly. So that, I'm telling you, by end of December, I think it is, if you haven't got it, they're going to stop you from functioning. So you won't be able to play any games. The club will not function until you get all your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
But they're not.
They're not facilitating that at the same time. Yeah.
They can't be putting like they're trying to push forward the summer football. Now you want to have a chat about that as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to push forward this, but who's bleeding man in the ship, like?
Yeah.
The director of football is at the stepping away. So who's planning? Are we
So
running
the
that?
same person giving out to you is the same person telling you that they can't help you.
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time. So beating you with two ends of the stick at
Exactly,
the same time. So your role then is head of football. That's your title within the club. What does that kind of look like for you on a day-to-day basis? Because I do see you up here every day in the club, and you wear many hats. You could be coaching the team, you could be refereeing a game. Like, you're constantly involved in the club. I don't think I've seen you out of that Finglas United tracksuit or a Finglas United coat or a hat.
Yeah, just
You
getting
know,
tired, that's all it's getting.
I feel like it's just a full-time job here at this stage.
Yeah, it is. Listen, and I love it, and every aspect of it. It's our club at the end of the day, Jimmy, and you know yourself. You put out and you want, and you can into it. But yeah, so my job is, myself and Daz, Darren Boyne's helped me as well, and Fran Carby, they're kind of in to give me a dig out as well. Like, so our job is to kind of get the club up to a standard where we can compete and keep things going. Like, so obviously get the coaches up the scratch on their coaching courses, and put a structure in place then obviously where we're going to go in the next few years. We've a couple of things down the line, like individual player development, stuff that we're going to bring in to kind of into each team if it's feasible for them to do it, as in creates accountability on both sides, as the coach's side and the player.
Yeah.
The player will tell you what he wants to do and what he wants to improve on, and it's up to us to facilitate then as the coach then. Yeah, so that's probably about a 4-year plan to try and get works, just to kind of get things up to the level that we wanted at, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question, or I don't go into around the round.
No, that's spot on. And it's, I suppose, I don't know how you feel about Dave, because you're probably on the outside side of that, where myself and Nelson are both involved in the club, so I can actually visualise what he's talking about. I see things that you've implemented, like goalkeeper specific coaching, that sort of thing. Even now, the recent developments in the club with the addition of the VO system,
schoolboys one,
for the schoolboy system.
More workshops then we're going to bring in as well, obviously for 9v9s and 77s, and be probably after Christmas then we'll bring the coaches in. We're going to get our own kind of handbook for coaches that are making a step over. So we're going to have coaches that have done it this year to come in and actually do workshops on it, and just how you train them wise and formation wise and stuff like that. So the coaches are going to coach the coaches, so which I think is the best way to do things, instead of me coming in and telling you this and that, and you're saying, well, you haven't been there, Jimmy. But we'll probably have at some stage.
Oh, it's just mad. I'm just sitting here listening to you. I'm sitting here dead silent, because I'm just listening to you talking about like the run under the club and all. I'm just fascinated by listening to it. So I haven't actually said much sitting here. I'm just kind of listening.
That's good,
yeah. Because I'm sitting here listening
to it next Friday.
I'm just sitting here listening to the live version of the podcast. No, I'm just it's fascinating for me, because like I was very limited in time in football. Do you know what I mean? I spent a couple of seasons at a couple of clubs, Griffith Rovers and Phoenix Rovers there, but I never really saw that side of it. I did a little bit of coaching, but I never saw like the side of it that you're involved in now. Do you know? Like, so like, for me, it's good to hear.
Well, it's more it's a support to the coaches as well. Like, so a lot of coaches, like, that's when I first came into the job. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, obviously, a lot of lads that I played football with, a lot of lads that you have a few points with. So you're coming in and then you're kind of saying to them, lads, oh, listen, I think you should be doing this, but you never would. I'd never go in there and tell the coach what to do. You'd say, listen, we'd ask them a question as, what are you struggling with? And then we'd come together and listen, it could be the other day, and we say, yeah, listen, we will go with that. But that's what it is, just to get the coaches that little bit of help, and then probably be a connection between the club and the committee as well, where a lot of people would probably brush aside because Foxy's up to his eyes or whatever, and he's getting 20 text messages a day. He's not going to answer all of them, and then the people who get left frustrated. So I'm probably just a go for it at this stage, am I? But
yeah, you're a bit of a, I suppose, what would you call it? A blockade for John taking some of the hits
It's part of the job, I think. But listen, if you make a decision, you're gonna have to stand by. Like, lucky enough that lads kind of accepted me when I came in, and there wasn't any kind of pushback from many lads, which is because our first job was the assessment sessions that you seen last year. To kind of get lads at the right level, where we had a few lads in the team that were probably playing too high level or too low level, so we just kind of got everyone on playing level field. And I think it probably worked out at this moment.
Do you find it like kind of was it kind of difficult, like, you know, when you're, as you say, you're going for points with these lads and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you're in this kind of position where you're telling them this, that and the other, do you know what I mean? Is that difficult in the beginning?
Yeah. At first I was stressed out of head, wasn't sleep, because you're thinking to yourself, I have to deal with that. Was that the right decision? Am I knowing that person going to think this of me?
Yeah, you're afraid of pissing someone off.
Exactly.
And then,
but then once the lads realise, obviously, as you said, 1 period every day, and cutting down things over there, or refereeing the game, or doing things over here, or painting a wall or something, the lads see that, they know that you're not just here for the piss take, and then you're there to help them.
No, you're actually invested. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So they buy into it with you. If I turned up every second day and I was telling some fella that haven't even watched that training session, right, I think you should play him right full and him left full, they're going to say,
yeah,
what the fuck do you know?
Like, can't tell you where to go. Like,
yeah, exactly. And where you kind of, as I said, it's your club. It's not saying it's my club because of the role I'm at. It's your club. It's the kids' club. And that's what I here to do, is to facilitate for
it's like anything else, like, you know, 20-30 years the club, you would hope still be here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whereas everybody else won't. You know, so you're kind of just trying to do your best you can for the club.
100%. And as we are, so we're a community club, but you're at the stage where you want to be. So you want to keep, as you were talking about earlier on, you want to keep the lads in Finglas United, and to be that, you're going to have to be a competitive club and a community club, and the fine line in between that, it's, you're going to have to get it right, because if you start pushing lads' teams for as competitives, and the team's not ready for it, you're going to hit, shit's going to hit the fan, as in players will be getting thumped around, the teams are getting thumped around, and players are going to leave in anyway. If you do it too slow, they're going to get bored and they're going to be out the door in anyway. But it has to be a process.
Find that happy medium.
Yeah.
I've noticed as well, my youngest lad came through the academy, and it's his 4th season. He's under 8s now, so it's his 4th season. And like that, really good team. Most of them have been there 3 or 4 since they were about 3 or 4, and have come up and played together and whatever. And this is their 4th year playing matches proper. And I think they've gone into Division 3, let's say, and really competitive. You know, some teams really put it up to them. Other teams, I'm not going to say it's a bit of a walkover, but you can see they're just a couple of steps off what the lads are doing. Like, but they're looking really strong. How important is it to kind of almost get them nearly as a team together from that early age and develop them, like nearly just get them involved in football as young as possible? Because I feel like sometimes with my eldest fella, he was in the academy, then he went and he was playing Ga for a while, and when 2 of them were clashing, he chose Ga for a bit, and it was only like, I think he was 9 when he came back to playing football. And that sounds mad, because you still think 9, like you were only 8 yourself when you went and started playing football. Sometimes, like, if you're only starting at 9, you almost feel like you're out there missing the boat a little bit. Yeah. Because you're walking into a team that's already developed.
Yeah, and the fundamentals of football are your 8s and your 9s and your 10s. Like.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of break it. At 8 years of age, so even though it's 8.3 Saturday, which is like 2 off the top, you look at it, you're in Major 1 or whatever it is. If you go into under 15s, you're 2 away from Premier. But at that age, the kids enjoy the football, and that's what it is. You give them a little bit of structure, as in discipline wise, as don't be kicking the ball around, don't be playing chasing, do that. Give the good structure, good fundamentals of football, and let them join it. And when the kids enjoy it, they'll learn about it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If you hadn't stand out in the rain out there and you're doing shape with them at 8 years of age or whatever, you're playing centre forward and you're playing outside, or you're playing right wing, left wing, the kids are like, wait, Tommy, just point over where we want me to play.
Yeah.
And at that stage, there should be no structure on the pitch. As if someone's playing left wing, put him in defence, put him in goal. So,
but what I would say though is you see, like we played. I say we. So the youngest team, the youngest fella's team, played Shamrock Rovers Academy, and different level.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought like the group that Daz had was like cracking group. As I said, playing together by years. Nobody had positions. You know, everybody is learning the fundamentals of the game, and they're just out there and enjoying it and getting the basics right, dribbling the ball, passing it, whatever. These lads all had positions and all, like, do you know what I mean? And there was a sweeper in there and everything. Do you know what I mean?
And they knew, and they stayed in it, like, and that's the structure. That's the academy sort of things. But they probably trained 4 times a week.
Yeah, it's
so the contact time with the ball is a lot more than everyone. Where everyone, you get your 2 hours in the match on the Sunday. Like,
yeah,
obviously
like
you want more probably. But
you probably have, like you were saying, lads coming up from Roscommon.
Yeah,
you know, with their parents bringing them up to Shamrock Rovers Academy for trials.
And then you go back to it though. Is that a parent trying to live their dream through their kid?
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, look, the kids were brilliant.
Yeah,
like you couldn't fault them. And my question is, like, because you said at that age, the mentality should be just let them go out and play and let them just enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, they'll develop naturally. Where you have on the flip side of that, teams that are starting even younger now, to put them into a structure. And then obviously they came out victors, comfortable victors in that fixture. And you're looking at it going, well, which is the right way of doing it?
Yeah, well, that's
like, I know what you're saying that they're training 4 times a week, or there's probably, it's a bit more intense than what you get at your local club. But I know Damien Duff was saying that kids don't play football out on the road anymore, and they should be training more times a week and all. But you have to remember, local clubs, it's all volunteers as well, so there's only so much time a volunteer can give up during the week. But do you think there's a shift, or more teams are going to start following that same pattern?
But the facilities, looks Rovers on, like, that's an academy. Like, that's like close to an English academy you're going to get. Like,
yeah,
the Rovers is different. It's a different beast altogether. Like, so down here where we say that let them enjoy it, but that's why we need that process. As I said, yeah. So if they're Division 1, Saturday Division 1.
Yeah.
If we went and want to push it, can we go Division 2 next year? Go 9-2, and then we get to 10-1. All that. You get to 10-1, you're playing that team again, and they'd be even better than, and you're going to get thumped. Your best players will be taken off you and brought up over to Rovers.
Yeah. Your
team's getting decimated. You have kids going out crying because they're getting thumped around. So it has to be, for us, is let the kids enjoy the football till they're ready for the competitive side of things.
Yeah.
I know you might lose things because the better lads will probably want to go to Kevin's and Home Farms and all that. But we had to worry about the other 10 players.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you think though, like you were saying, let them enjoy the football, and like you say, you'll lose players and whatever. Do you think though that will help you develop players into better players, the ones who stick around, the ones who stay?
I think so. Yeah, with good coaching and the kids being happy, I think they will. And obviously, kids are happier when they're winning. Well, they think they win. No one keeps score at the under-8s games. I mean, the kids are actually, did we win? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every kid, we all won. Yeah. Well, you scored a hat trick. I was in goal. You scored a hat trick, bro. Get your dad to give you €15.
Gonna get you a bottle of Powerade on the way home.
But that's it. So just like kids just want to be out there. Like, they don't understand the structure of it, or what's behind it, or who we're playing away. Or you say we're playing away in Joey's and said Nugget. They're like, okay, I'll get in the car, will I? So they don't understand, and they don't understand is there's a football there. My friends over there. I'm going to play football. I'm going to try to score a goal. I'm going to pass the ball, or whatever way they want to take the game. And I think that's where they develop better. Listen, and time will tell. But that's the first one at the academy that we're pushing towards Saturday football. Yeah. Because what will happen is a lot of them comes out of the academy that you're saying we'll have to go Sunday because they play Ghana Saturday. Yeah. Oh no, we're not going to fight with the guy over this, because a lot of times the guy will win. Because the way it's run and everything else in the big community, and the structure they have down there with the pub and all, and the
it's
a safe environment where the kids are actually playing. Yeah, we're not trying to do that, but for us to survive, for us to kick on, we're gonna have to go Saturday football. Yeah, we have 5 teams or something on Saturday football, and we've about 15 teams, 16 teams on Sunday football. Yeah, so we have to start pushing towards Saturday football, and hopefully we kick on and start improving and getting to where we want to be with them.
The point I was trying to get to as well with the development of an academy, I think starting them that young, for me, looking at it and sort of how my son interacts with his teammates, it already seems like they're only playing under 8s, but they all know each other years.
Yeah.
And it's like what you were saying about growing up doing the schoolboys, and even though you left the club, there was always that desire to come back and play with your mates.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way in keeping players at the club as well. When you have that group of mates that you've played alongside for so long, it's a lot harder to leave a club just for your own sort of personal gain, to think you might win a trophy, or to think that you might get scouted or whatever it might be. I think it goes a long way to keeping teams together.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get the trophies with them lads. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or with the success with the teams, them and a few teams that's come before them as well. Like, so that's the plan. So our aim is obviously 13s, 15s. I think is the League of Iron Ages. Why should someone like we've done 11s now that are very good? One or two of them players could easily left and went to someone else. Kevin, what's the point of them going somewhere for the year and just going to where we can get them in anyway?
Yeah.
So you need to have that not connections as well. I was saying is stay with us. If you're good enough, we'll get the boys in, and you can go to the Bows and the Pats and whatever else. Like,
Yeah.
I know Kevin's have a connection with Bows, but if they see a player that's just as good as the player that's down in Kevin's, they're not going to say no. You don't play with Kevin's. We're not going to pick you.
Yeah.
So but you have to see that happening. As I saying, with the lads now going up to Drogheda, there's already there's connection with Drogheda there. So that's your 4th step in the door now, with connection with League of Iron Club. So we just need to get that connection, and then obviously for the lads that want to stay in Finglas, we have the structure. Top Senior Sunday, the lads are flying now.
Yeah.
We hope that we'll be there. So we look at conveyor belt. I think Premier go into the senior setup now in the next 2 years. Our 17s will come behind them. We'll have 16s. We have a team in every age group of it. Next year we will. So
there's a natural pathway from the academy right up to the senior Sunday.
And there's 4 senior teams up there.
Yeah.
So there's a level for every player that comes through.
Sorry, it kind of feeds into something we actually had and we were going to talk about as well, and it kind of goes back to talking about the amalgamation earlier as well, and we were talking about it on previous episodes of our podcast, and that with the amalgamation and stuff like that, it allowed for all of this as well. But we were talking about smaller clubs in areas, and should smaller clubs look at pooling their resources and coming together?
Definitely, I think it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
It seems to be.
But the big thing about changing over would be losing your name. Look, after 50 years history, Mellow's probably 50 years history when they changed over. That's you're letting that go. A lot of work, a lot of men, hours.
Yeah,
fucking.
Yeah, it's kind of an identity, isn't it? Like,
yeah. So you're letting that go, and fair enough that the two boys are brave. The two clubs are brave enough to take the step. So I think a lot of them. I think a lot of the changeover now would you have still trying to keep the names in it as well. Like Hardwick's telling Hardwick was changed as well, and they try to keep their name in it as well. Did he?
I think as well.
Hardwick Stella or something.
I think as well. I think the point we made a couple of episodes ago was, if we were talking about the GA situation, and like if you're playing GA and Finglas, you're playing for Airdens Oil. You're playing in Cabra, you're playing for Finbars.
You can't change over, yeah. It's
and
your parish, yeah.
But it's your parish. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare that somebody moves clubs. But also, if the GAA handed out funding and they go, right, we'll look after Finglas this year, all that funding's going to one club. If they're looking after Cabra, it's going to Finbars. They're looking after one club.
Yeah.
Where you have the FAI, who we know are limited in their resources. If they're looking at an area like Finglas, I could name off the top of my head 10 clubs, you know, and that's already with Wefta and Mellows after amalgamating. You're still talking like it's literally a stone throw away from where we are now. Just 3 or 4 clubs, and you do have it at the end of a season where you might have one lad who's a fringe player, let's say, and he's talking about going for trials down the road, or he's talking about moving team, or he has a mate who's on another team. And when the FAI comes to hand out these things, would it not be better to have, let's say, we'll take Finglas as an example, we could have a really top team, like the senior team, right, really top team, getting promoted wherever it might be, but you know that there's a centre mid who's better and he's playing around the corner at the Valley, or he's playing for Ballymun United, let's say, or the Willows, or whatever it might be. If you had all the best players all playing at the one club with all the resources that the FAA could have thrown at you, would you not end up with a really like let's say Finglas United swallowed all those clubs up, and you got all the resources together. You had a state-of-the-art pitch that you could nearly turn into a stadium. You could have a stand, whatever it might be. And then the cream always rises to the top, as they say. So everybody benefits from it. Do you not think so?
Yeah, but that was the plan.
I know it's easier said than done.
That was the plan for the amalgamation, though.
Yeah.
With Mellows and Wefta. They asked all the other clubs. They asked the Valley, Finglas, Celtic, McKelvey. Everyone, I don't even remember was there, but every club in Finglas was asked, listen, do you want to come in together and we make one big club? I'm assuming they were asked, because that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
And the only two that went for it was Wefta and Mellows.
Yeah.
So but that was the idea behind it. As you said, the more one big club, all the money into the pot. We go build a pitch over here. You could have the Valley pitch. You could have this pitch, that pitch, and all.
Yeah.
And not saying we, because I'm saying we because
a collective way.
Yeah, it's exactly. So whoever was involved now could have had all this facilities.
Yeah.
But obviously the two clubs are the ones that made the jump, and I think we're probably the better off.
Well, I think Finglas West in general is just benefiting greatly from it, because I know I grew up in Finglas South as well. I was in the posh estate though.
Oh,
and
we used to go rob your milk.
The poshies, yeah. Rob more than me milk.
Oh, she has strawberry milk over there, get that one.
But there was, for me, there was the two big clubs in Finglas at the time were Wefta and Rivermount. And more often than not, if you were down the south, you played Rivermount.
Yeah. Orga.
If you're up Orga, which I did both. And if you're up the west, you play for Wefta. And I wonder if something like that was even talked about back then, like I'm talking in the 90s or whatever. You pooled your resources. You look at the amount of space and everything down at the stretch, the amount of space we have up here in Kildownan. I mean, a lot could be done now. Listen, the club is in a great state, and as I said, love being a part of the club. But you'd have to say it because it worked out for this club. Surely it's going to work out for a lot of teams who are probably thinking of it, or a lot of communities that might.
I think so. But as you said, it needs the hard work behind it. Like Foxy there, the driving force behind it. Tommy Case, the driving force behind it. There's a lot of lads that put a lot of work and effort into it. Like.
Yeah.
But when I started up here, there was a green container down where the pavilion is down the road there.
Yeah.
Get down. That went from a green container to a change room. Then it went from the change room to updated change room with individual showers in each change room. Then went from that to up here to having both of them.
Yeah.
To the all-weather pitch. So it's a lot of work. It's not going to be, as you said there, we all come together, we all get a lot of money, we all build this and that.
Yeah, that's I'm generalising.
Yeah.
You know, but that's, you know, I suppose I'm just seeing it because I'm involved in a club that has gone through it, and I've seen how they've benefited from it, and probably I can see where we're at now at the moment.
The FUA are pushing that scenario on clubs.
Yeah,
they're the ones that we went to a strategy meeting with the FUA, and I don't think they even listen to us, because we all kept saying we need facilities. No, other than facilities, what you need? I said, everyone's saying we facilities.
Yeah.
No. It's like fucking yes. It's facilities.
How clear do you want me to say that?
If you have facilities, instead of having one team, you can have 10 teams.
Yeah.
You have better facilities, you can have 20 teams.
Yeah.
You have an all-weather pitch, you can play during the winter.
Yeah.
But sorry, I don't even know where I was going with that. But they were saying in that sense,
they're pushing the.
I think it's
amalgamation.
Things all need to sort of come together and pull them together and make it easier for them to maintain things as well. Like so.
Yeah. I'm gonna hand the mic over to Dave, because for anybody listening, myself and Dave are sharing the mic at the moment. You can certainly tell Nelson's not sharing the mic. He's that mic all to himself over there.
I'm gonna set a goal for me there.
But just as you were talking there, just in about summer football, I kind of spoke how I've always played the way it's played now with winter football and everything, and never had too much of an issue with it. And now as a coach, I'm staring down the barrel of potentially a fifth game being called off in the space of 10 weeks. So what's your thoughts on that move, and where do you think the FAI are with it? And then I'm going to pass. I'll pass this over to Dave so he can interact with you a bit on this one.
I'll just let you talk.
Yeah,
go for it.
Don't. It actually doesn't bother me. In fairness, like, listen, if it's summer football, winter football, the kids we're still going to be here. We're still going to be doing the same things, and the kids are still going to play. I know you're saying about that the match has been called off. I think the wettest months we have is in March. So you still get called off in March.
You're still going to have that problem.
Still going to have the problem. Yeah. Like,
We spoke about it.
No opinion on it. Like, it is what it is. Like, so
we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think we came down on either side of the argument, did we? We kind of sort of there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons, and I don't know if there's a right or a wrong answer in it.
The big thing is
for me. Sorry, the big thing for me in it was just that the FAI just made that decision, from the top down, and tried to say, right, you're all going to follow this now.
Exactly. I was there at the meeting as well. They had meetings about it when they were talking about it, and everyone was in the room was against it, and they were saying, you don't understand. So the fella came over, Mark, whatever his name was, came over from England, and he was like, this is what we want to do. I don't think he realised how big the guy has an influence on the soccer. So he wants to realign it with the GA season, which is not. Is that what it is?
With the League of Ireland more so.
Yeah, but it's going to overlap the GA.
Yeah, it'll overlap the GA because they have championship.
Yeah, so but he doesn't realise how big it is and how big a pull, especially down the country teams.
Yeah, well, you go to the rural teams. They're going to ditch that football team to go to that GA team. So in my experience anyway.
So that's what I'm saying. So he came in, created a plan to go summer football. I don't know, and then stepped away. I don't know if it was because he realised he's banging his head against the wall, or he stepped away. As I said, he was manning the ship, and they're still pushing forward. They put it back to 2027 now.
Yeah, but isn't it an opt-in as well? Didn't they put it to an opt-in?
You can go earlier.
Yeah,
the leagues can go earlier. Yeah. So you can go in 2026. You can say, listen, we're going to go summer football.
Do you think?
But we went there. We only there about 10 years ago, 5 years ago. The summer football, and then after a year, they changed back. But I'm just worried about the kids are going to miss out on a year. So if you imagine you're going to 9-a-side, so you get 1 year in 9-a-side. So you 2 years 7-a-side, 1 year 9-a-side, then into 11-a-side. If you go in there and they do a half a season, you're only getting a half a season 9-a-side. So where's the preparation for you going to 11-a-side then?
Do you feel like it's a plan that was like half baked?
I say
somebody was half baked.
Yeah. But I say, listen, they want to realign it with the League of Ireland and it benefits that sort of things. I said we'll push over regardless. We're going to get rebuttal here. We're going to push over. But you should just listen to the leagues and set the leagues. Most of the country teams are playing the summer football. So if you get a country team in the cup, you could be starting your season, and they could be finished their season.
Right. Okay.
So and
you have two teams at different ends of it.
Yeah, different ends of the season and fitness wise and everything else. So this year, I could get this wrong now. In fairness, the 18 Premier, the FUI Cup, whatever it is, the Ireland for the 18s, that's starting in January, but it'll go to next September or something because it's aligned as an FUI, so summer football. But our season finishes in May. A few of the boys will probably go senior football. We'll have no team. If we get to later rounds of that, we'll have no team to play in it. Yeah. So we'll have to give a walk off an enemy, so we'll go to shy. Like most clubs. Yeah. So it just doesn't make sense.
It's either everybody's in or nobody's in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you can't have some sort of a hybrid system because, like you said, teams in different phases of the season, and that transition. And I think just even little things like we were trying to come up with the pros and cons of it. Like things like leaving certs and junior certs and just people going away on some holidays. What are you supposed to say? Like, oh, we've you can only go away the month of July. Do you know what I mean? Because we need all the players. Like,
but not evenly. So the problem now at the moment is referees for games, isn't it? We're struggling for referees.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now when, say, builders' holidays come up and you have all the referees going away? I'm saying, so you assume with some of the tradesmen, they're going away for the families and all that. So what are you going to call the matches, more matches off? But you're worried about in December when it gets called off for the rain. You're going to call 2 weeks off because you have no referees. So there's pros and cons. I didn't have an opinion on this till you start pushing.
Tell us what you think, Nelson.
I'm in.
Tell us what you think. But I also wanted to talk to you about then just to kind of bookend your position within the club then as well. Do you see yourself in this position over a long stay period, or do you feel like you're eyeing up Foxy's job? Or
no, Jesus Christ, no one would have fucking that job. No, listen, John, John's doing the job that he does, and he does a good. Like, maybe he's doing too many people's jobs.
Probably, yeah.
And
that's where you come in.
I come in, and obviously I'm leading. There's people around him that's going to help him, and he's starting to take a little bit more help.
Yeah.
So you don't get the text message anymore saying no. That's it.
Yeah.
But
because he's sending the same message to 50 other people.
I'm happy enough where I am. I can see it. I want to get the plan of action done over the next 2 years, and then obviously kick on from there. I think over the last few months that because of doing the guard event and there's a lot of things going on, we have kind of stagnated. It kind of has leveled off where we kind of pushed on a bit. Teams are doing well. Like they last year, I think one weekend every team in the schoolboy section lost. So the progress from that, hopefully this year be in promotion running, and look, your teams are flying this year. Yeah, and it's not like he's up in the wrong league. He's in the right league. Just he's recruited very well. Yeah, and he's doing very well.
And I think a lot of that falls back to what we were talking about in terms of the pull of the club now. Yeah, because of the facilities, because of the work that's going on behind the scenes.
And you don't put a good session on, or he's not doing it. Yeah, or he's doing things wrong. He's going to go somewhere else. So no one's going to stay around with that. But so take a bit of credit there as ourselves.
Thanks, Nelson.
Yeah, I'll go, bro.
Did you record that bit, Dan?
I'm cutting that out.
We just do one more take of that one, maybe.
But like, listen, I'm still managing now at the moment, doing the 18th Premier, and then I'm doing under 11s. I have them since the 8s. My nephew Keelan came from the Football for All. 8s or 9s actually. I think it was 9s, 8s. And he wanted to go mainstream. I know he said, I always think I was mentioning under 12s team at the time. I said, I'll drop them and I'll come in and take him. Just want to see how he change over, because he has Tourette's and stuff, and he struggles with. Obviously, I wanted to be there to be the one that instead of having someone else
helps him with the transition.
Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't care about me now.
You're just his coach now, eh?
He passes me now and he sees me, but no. So I still have that team, but I think over the next year I'll probably have to take a step back from the coaching, because I want to be out there going to a couple of away games and a bit more training sessions and kind of stepping in and having lads of sessions and stuff.
You touched on it there. You might kind of give us a bit of an overall view of the Football for All and what that does in the club.
Yeah, so it's all inclusivity, isn't it? Like, so we're up and running, I can't remember, 5 or 6 years I think it is, but they're doing a great job there. There's kids there that they're part of their community, and why should they not be able to play football or be involved in a club because they have some, would you say, disability or not being able to do something, you know. Yeah. But as you said, if there's a lot of lads that are mainstream now, kids who are mainstream go up and help, they could be in the shops down the road there with their man and they see that they go, this is my friend, you know. It opens the word a little bit more, you know. Yeah. Instead of just having the man and however they have a home, you know. Yeah. I have to say it's work do, you know?
It is. It's amazing work, and the club also got a sensory room as well.
Yeah. So that's Dan Bourne done marathon. Dan's cousin Jaden is in the Football for All. He's the one that taught me the what's up, bro. I don't you say what's up, bro. But yeah, so he done a fundraiser for the century room, and there's kids out there in the park that come over. That's part of Football for All, and if they're over there, they come straight over. The club is open; they can use it any time. Any kid that's around, they come over and use it, and it does be used a lot. So it is a game changer. Also gives the parents a bit of a break as well. But listen, it's a great addition to the club.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's a great addition to the community as well.
Exactly,
and like that for anyone who doesn't fit into the normal mainstream side of sports, you know, that feels like they don't have a place to go.
That's when people say, what is normal?
What is normal?
Yeah, so
exactly. That's
a question.
What the general society would see it, you know, as normal or conventional. Like, I mean, you have your nephew there who started off in the Football for All and has moved into, again, what's mainstream.
Yeah,
but they've moved into the more mainstream side of the game.
And there's a few that have come in and probably gone and played elsewhere. There's a few, one or two have down Finglas Celtic. There's one or two have gone down to Rivermount. Yeah. And obviously they just want, obviously they the parents don't feel confident enough that he'd fit in the mainstream sort of thing, situation or the setup. Bring him in, and obviously, he is able, or the coach will see something in them, and
sometimes it is that level of comfort for the parents as well, bringing the child up, because like that they might be apprehensive about that situation. Yeah, and
once the child gets used to the football sort of things, the coach can see something in them, and listen, we have a team there for them. They can contact one of the boys out of the club.
And there's a lot of volunteers behind the scene involved with that.
That's it. With the Football for All has the older lads.
Winner as well, yeah.
Paul and Rachel and stuff like that.
And it's amazing work that they do, and they're so passionate about it as well. Very good. Really comes across.
They've been doing tournaments and everything else. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really
the young kids actually do as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention them. Callum and me, they're doing it since they're 12, 13, like they're 18 and 16 now, like so. And
Amazing.
for them to do it and do whatever it is every week, it's brilliant to see, you know.
Yeah, it's great. It really is. It's a great setup, and it really is. It's a great addition to the community and to the club. Is there anything else you want to cover, just in terms of your role, or maybe some of the plans for the club going forward?
Yeah, so as I said, we're going to bring in the workshops after Christmas. The plan would be to get a few more teams Premier, get the coaches probably upskill a little bit more. There's a couple of things I'm going to bring. I'm doing a trial with two lads that are doing Go Live, a Gym Live. It's an online gym app that they're bringing across. It's only new out, so I'm going to try that with the 18s and hopefully bring it to the club. It'd be online kettlebell sessions or recovery sessions on a Monday for teams. So you're getting a 3 nights a week training or 4 nights a week training. So you do 2 of the football and 2 fitness wise. So
And are they just doing that from home, and
they have
the phones or the tablets?
Yeah, so they'll do it from home.
Yeah,
But you can also track if they sync their watches up or their phones up to the app. You can track their steps. So you set a goal and say you want to set a goal in for the whole team to hit 100,000 steps.
yeah,
And you can go in and check, say your jump is hitting 10,000 steps and someone else hitting 2,000 onto the blower. Listen, you need to up your steps.
yeah.
And then the online classes, you can actually sit in the online classes and watch the boys do it. And you can see their heart rate up and down and see who's putting in and who's not. So it's a lot of accountability in that.
That's brilliant, yeah.
So we're going to try that. Hopefully bring it in after Christmas. The individual player development forums as well. We're going to try to bring that in as well. Again, more accountability. Players will identify then because every player probably say, "Oh, I don't need to change that." But when you sit down and break it down with them, say, "Listen, I think you need to use your left foot more, or need to get fitter." So you just come to that situation and you just talk about it, reassess it in 4 weeks, and you say, "Would you think we are with this?" But then it's also up to the coaches to put sessions on to help them in that way as well. So
Yeah.
stuff like that, like just to kind of bring us up to.
Yeah, and we already touched on the VO.
The videos coming in, and we'll do a class on that as well. Obviously, how to edit and clip things together, and obviously we have the coaching room here as well.
Yeah. We're live from the coaching room today.
Yeah, so that's why we have the telly here, so you can use your video and you can break down, watch it and clip it.
Yeah.
Sit the lads in here in the classroom, and you can go to one of the telly.
It's great to have this room actually, because I used it pre-season because our lads were moving from 7-a-side to 9-a-side, but also the offside rule was coming in. So a lot of the lads kind of had an idea of what it was from playing FIFA and whatever.
The salt and peppers on the table.
The old salt and peppers on the table. But I was able to find a couple of tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
And brought the laptop up, connected it to the telly, and as soon as the lads see YouTube on, they're hooked in straight away. Do you know what I mean? That's the generation we're dealing with. But yeah, no, it's brilliant. I have to say the clubs, even in the short time I've been here, it's coming on leaps and bounds, and it's great to see people like yourself and Foxy and just everyone who volunteers, everybody at the Football for All, coaches, small age group, the lads in the academy. I mean, everybody's putting in a shift at the moment, and the club is really benefiting from it.
It takes a lot of people then to kind of get where it was. The shop kicking off as well.
Every there's constantly something going on. There's constantly something being improved, something changing.
I think at one stage I just had to stop.
Yeah.
And hopefully
that's enough now.
Not a pinnacle there at that stage.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to take a step back and see how far you've come as well.
And kind of reassess then, because if you're too deep in it, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you take the step back and you have a look, say, okay, maybe that needs to be tweaked and that needs to be tweaked. So
yeah, because otherwise you're just running with the blinkers on.
Exactly, yeah.
You've also got your own podcast.
Yeah, we're doing, me and Al Barrett, we're doing I think we're doing 3 years, on and off for 3 years. We went heavy at the first week. We've done 10 sessions, 10 episodes, and then we kind of stopped, done 1 or 2, stopped again. I think just Al was back playing. He said, we just had a baby. I kind of stepped into this role as well. I was actually coaching with Montpellier at the time as well, so just a lot of things going on.
You sound like you're very like me, where you just keep taking stuff on, and then you're like,
I adopt dogs and cats as well.
Forgetting that you have a wife and kids at home and everything.
So we're doing that. That's about amateur football. So
we should mention 3 points place. I don't know if you said it there, but I've been listening to it the last couple of weeks. So kind of because I contacted you about this podcast to get you on, and I was only at that point, and now I've known you probably the last 2 years or whatever, and as I said to you before, you're a great go-to in the club, so I'd speak to you regularly enough when I need that. But in that whole time, you never mentioned the podcast, and I think I'd already mentioned that I was doing.
Probably mentioned Mark Shane Long. I'm actually.
Yeah.
That's me go-to.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that Shane Long story at this stage. But and then you said it to me, so I went back and I was listening to it, listened to a good few episodes, and have to say I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I'm really enjoying it. I sent it on to Dave as well. Dave said it was shit, but he specifically said
he's actually nodding as you say.
But so how did you come across the concept of that? And
so Anton me go out. So myself, Al, the Higgies, fucking no Keenan, no Higgins. So we have a group there that we have. Every now and again, so most of Christmas times, you all get out for a pint and all. And we always say we sit in the waffle corner and we talk about football and remember this, and it's the same stories over and over again, but we're just all engrossed because we're in the pub having a few points and
reliving it,
exactly. And we remember him and remember that time you done this and that. So I had a few points. We had a night in the waffle corner talking about football and whatever else, and I and Tom had a few sherries on me, and I said, voice message, no way we have the waffle corner, wouldn't it be great if you got kind of a few old lads on like Davy Kane and a few lads that, and got them on a podcast and let them tell their stories and all. And then whatever it was, I sent about 3 or 4, about 6 other messages after that as well. But I woke up next morning and went, bollocks, the fear kicked in.
We'll have to start a podcast.
So I jumped on the phone to delete it. The message there, and I seen the text from Barry, that's a great idea, pal. I was like, oh, good luck. So I just kind of came from there.
But here, look, it worked out. I've been listening to it, like, there's great conversations there.
Yeah.
And it's a really good listen. We'll have it on in the car. Jolly good.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Contrary to what this fucker says. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I suppose I was actually going to say, like, how as they're getting people on or chasing people up, do you get reluctance from anybody? Because it's something we want to do here as well, is get people on, get them chatting and stuff like that.
It's at first it was grand because we could go to the Kane brothers, like, so they're Chris McElliott, so we get these lads in because but then what's happening is then you start getting the Ballymun story going, then you'd have the Wefta story. I think people are sick of us talking about Wefta because they always refer back to it, and then you have the Tog story, so you kind of have to say, right, you already spoke to him, even though you want to get someone on, you already done the Ballymun story, it's going to be the same story, so you have to go outfield. So that's when that's why we're struggling to get people on. Yeah. So we're actually recording at the moment before the episode's done, but we're still trying to push for more, you know.
Trying to push for more, and it's just getting people on then and reaching out to people.
Exactly, and just trying different stories. Because
do you find it's just reluctance to do a podcast and someone thinks like, well, I don't know who the fuck's going to what I have to say or whatever, but I find like, you're listening to it and they're engrossing, do you know what I mean? They're kind of like just good conversations to listen to.
And it's great to be there like face to face as well, like, cause, like, and there's a lot of people there, like, you know their career, you played against them, but after that you don't know, and they'd be telling you stories about themselves. Like, you had Dougie Dolan on and he said, did you miss football? And you could see it in his face there that he actually really did miss football.
Did miss it, yeah.
And some people like the Canes said that, I'm done with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm running on whatever else, I'm done with it. And you'd have lads that, no, I'm still involved, I'm 50 years later still playing football.
Doing this time,
so it's mad how people after football, that's what it's after football, how you react to it, you know.
Yeah.
But the reluctance, I think it's more reluctance of people saying they're going to make a fool of themselves or say the wrong thing,
say something. Yeah.
So listen, I'm used to that now. So
because like we had that starting this, I was like, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? What are we doing a podcast
just
for?
The process, and just go for it. Like, if you don't, you have to take the jump. Like, if you don't do it, you never know.
You'll never do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it, you'll never know. You're right. Yeah.
Just keep it going. Like, I've listened to a few of the episodes and all. Yeah, it's good. I like the Premier League breakdowns as well. I think one of them that you actually got bang on. I can't remember what game it was. I think it was. that was supposed to be shit. Yeah, it was,
every week.
But he got one bang on. I was like, the jammy.
I'm getting good at that though, am I?
Why don't you do a accumulator over then?
I should. I'm not a better man. I'm too stingy to be. And I've an addictive personality, so I start something, I'll be flat out ringing the credit union and everything.
I was just thinking the drunken text to Al there said, see, something does come out of
drink.
Yeah.
I think starting out for us as well, we were conscious of everything that we were doing. Not even really like long pauses, or you'd say something and you just felt like it had to be perfect coming out of your mouth because that's the way it should be, and it has to sound perfect coming across on a podcast. Now look, Dave's great at the old editing, and there is a lot of dribble in there that, especially from me, that gets cut out every week. But I think it's just one of those things. The more you do it,
I think just
the more comfortable you get with it.
We don't even edit anymore now. Where at first was like, I know I said that's come out. I said something, I mumbled or whatever. Now I'm just like, don't even listen to the back. Just put it out, and it is what it is. Like, maybe that's just being lazy.
No, that's a good point, because I found in the first sort of 3, 4, 5 that we done, I was over editing. I was sitting there for 3 hours, like just to chop little gaps and to put it all together. But and you kind of pointed it out to me at one point. It's like I nearly sound like I'm interrupting myself, because I was chopping it too close together. And it didn't sound natural. And then even down to just recording and talking to the mic and whatever, and talking to each other, it starts to flow better. Like we're on what, number 13 here now. 13, and
you'd be taking off here.
And it's starting to feel more natural now doing it. Do you know what I mean? I made an attempt at doing it on my own a couple of weeks ago, just to keep the podcast going. It's the worst experience of my life.
Because because
worst number of listeners we
it was.
So
last week came close.
You're the pull. But
they only tune in for my predictions.
So we found ourselves when people are talking, don't know that, so now me and Al can just nod, just do that, and we said to them, if I just smiling, I was just nodding, it's not because we're not listening, but I just had to say because it takes out, because you can hear it. I was doing my head, I just don't listen back to them anymore.
You get sick of it.
But then
you get sick of it.
But then you find yourself.
It's a real Irish thing, though, isn't it? Do you know, like when you're hanging up the phone, go on.
It is.
Boy.
Yeah. But hopefully we're gonna get 5 or 6 in the bank and then release them over the Christmas, and hopefully we get back at it. We're just gonna run out of people now. We need to get people in, so we need to.
What I was saying to you before we start recording this evening about your own podcast is, like, for me, I never got to kind of your level of football in terms of like the higher level of amateur football. But I still, because it's local, and because it's lads who played from local clubs, you know, even as far as Portmarnock or Blanchardstown or wherever it might be, the amount of people in their stories that I knew, like I was saying to you about Git Barber, I've never met Git Barber in my life, but he went to Blakestown, and half my mates from Blanche all went to Blakestown. They all knew him. His first ever coach was Dennis Moore. He's my uncle. He would have played with Gary Moore, my cousin. He was talking about Crofty, and I was in Blanche IT with Crofty, and there was all these players, and even with Gar Cooney, I don't know Gar directly, but mates of mine are cousins with him, and all this sort of stuff. And it's you're kind of, even as they're talking to him, you're just going, jeez, that's mad. Like, you know, you just know these people because their stories are local and they're involved with local clubs. The crossover does be be mental. So you feel like you're nearly involved in the podcast yourself.
Going the same circles enough, you know.
Yeah.
But that's because we could have easily went down the road of League of Ireland.
Yeah.
But there's a disconnect there with League of Ireland, as in they're playing League of Ireland. They're away from us. They're full time. Even lads like that I haven't played amateur game. There's a disconnect there because they're telling you about this traveling here and going here and playing this match and that.
Yeah.
But
it's not the everyman's experience.
Exactly.
Like.
So, but we're talking about things as just playing in the field down the road.
Yeah.
And people, you know him. Oh, he's talking about my cousin. He's playing that. So the connection is there with the local people.
Yeah.
So that's why we're kind of particular on who we get on. As in, you had to have played the amateur game.
Yeah.
At some stage.
Yeah.
Or coached at it. Where there's no point getting. Someone said to me, "Why don't you get him on?" I said, "Because it won't work. Because we're just going to do normal any other football podcast." Like.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it's good because like that you can have Dickie Dowland out Portmarnock or whatever it might be. You have lads from Blanche, but because they all played at certain levels, they were either coached by the same people or they were.
Yeah, so there's not.
There's a lot of crossover. It all kind of ties in nicely together.
But sometimes you can deal with too. That's what we're trying not to do is to deal with too much.
To the point where you're hearing the same stories all just from a different voice.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, I think he's doing a really good job. There was one point that I wanted to make. The FAI have announced a new tour tier that they're looking to bring in next August. Just wondering what your thoughts are on that, and do you feel like it's been broadcast well enough? Do you think it's accessible to clubs looking to get involved? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I haven't really actually thought about it that much, but if you're looking at the tour tier, it's going to cost about $100,000 to run. So it's and probably more. Being travelling wise and probably build an infrastructure of stadium and all the stuff. So with the FUI not being able to fund it because they're on their arse, where's the money going to come from for these clubs? Like,
Yeah, I've seen some of the clubs that were announced. Now, I'll be honest, outside of Dublin, I don't really know too many clubs, but you've got the likes of Mayo FC, you've got CK United, I think it is, which is Carlow Kilkenny, and they're trying to have that geographical spread as well, so they want clubs from across the country, and I think they're going to have a north and south division and then some sort of a playoff, is my understanding.
And what's the benefits, would you say?
I think the carrot on the stick, I think, is the opportunity to go up to the first division and potentially on to the League of Ireland. But obviously, as you say, there's going to be a huge investment, and because there's no funding there.
But I don't understand where many clubs have folded over the years.
Yeah,
there's Kildare, with 2 clubs actually we play for folded, Kildare, Kilkenny.
How long was that after you left?
It wasn't for the wages anyway, because you won't get anyone through the gate.
That €50 travel expense started crippling them.
I'm not going down there watch a man lose the ball again. The fans won't come down.
Centre half has notions.
He's off his head. But so there's so many teams. Who else folded? This is
the list. Yeah, the list
is endless. So I don't know whether they're going to bring another 12 teams in or whether they're going to bring in, but with no infrastructure like the teams that were already there. So these teams already had stadiums, and they still couldn't maintain what was going on. Yeah. So I don't know. Listen, it could be set up to fail. Hopefully it doesn't, because you don't want to see it like that. But we want football in this country to thrive and give a platform for the kids coming through to play on. But I think it's not going to work.
From the outside looking in, it looks like that they're trying to replicate somewhat of the pyramid system that they have in England. You know, that you've got your Premier League, your Championship, your League One, so on, into your national divisions and so on and so forth. And I don't know whether it's all just in an effort to funnel more money into, I'm not going to say directly into the FAI, but into the top tier of Irish football, let's say. But if you do any sort of research on it, it's all very vague. Like the criteria that a club has to meet to get involved in this is, as you said, not only on the financial side, but there's a long checklist there, and I don't know, other than the carrot on the stick being eventually maybe making it to the League of Ireland, what the benefits are for that.
I don't know. Ballymun, I think we're talking about going into it. I think they're planning on getting a stadium in, so that'd be good infrastructure for them. But did you start playing players then? So did you go semi-pro, or what's the status?
We've seen it across even as high up as the League of Ireland, where teams have been semi-pro even in the League of Ireland.
I think they're all gone pro this year.
Yeah,
they're all pro. I think they're trying to bring it into Division 1 as well.
And then Division 1 as well. So that'll obviously have to funnel down. So, you know, how many boxes are teams going to have to tick just to get involved in this? You know, and what's going to be the cost, and who's regulating it then at the same time? Who's auditing the books to make sure that this is a financially viable option for the team?
So again, we'll go back to it. The chap that wanted to bring this in was probably a man that's at the leaving. So if someone else going to run with his ideas, that probably doesn't agree with it.
And if it's anything like the summer football idea, it's not very well thought out.
No, and the rebuttal against it, I haven't heard that one person said that one club or one league said that they want to bring it in, because the meetings we had there, they were all against it.
Yeah.
And it was just basically, look, there, your man was at a strategy meeting. The fella that was at the leaving there was sitting there on his phone like that, booking flights as we were going in through all this, booking flights, probably going home with him. And I'm saying to myself, you're trying to push us down our throats and tell us to put this across, and this is the way it's going to be, and you couldn't even ask to listen to the people's responses to it.
So he's obviously in just cashing a check and
there you go, and out the door,
getting a pay packet and going home.
That's my opinion though.
Yeah.
Not Finglas United's opinion, because it could be.
Yeah. Just blame Liam Tiernan. Yeah. Send all complaints directly to him, not to the club.
Of enough, the box is full.
Is there that did you want to discuss with us?
No.
That's before we finish up.
No, I'm all good. I think we went across everything and probably talked a bit too much there. So
no, it's great. It's great.
Sorry about that, Dave.
No, less editing for Dave to do.
I'm not going to edit. He's
He's having a great time here. He is. But
yeah, just want to say a big thanks for coming on. You're the
No,
first
but yes,
guest. Honoured to have you. And
I enjoyed it. Then it was kind of like a little therapy session there, just kind of get everything out.
if Dave is our only audience, he says it's a cracking session. So
Yeah.
that's getting a great review so far. So no, really appreciate you coming on. And I'll pass you off to Dave because he loves to link everybody to the socials, and I'll let him do that last bit.
I'll start with yours. 3 points, please.
Yeah.
On Spotify, anywhere else?
Spotify, yeah. YouTube.
YouTube as well. Spotify and YouTube. 3 points, please. Go over there. It's deadly. It's a good listen. Really good listen. So head over there. And for ourselves, on the usual, anygames.ie on all our socials, X, Facebook, TikTok, all that. And give us a follow and a like on Spotify and YouTube because it helps out the podcast and it helps us get up there on the algorithm and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks.
You're bro.
And thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
Right.
Thank you.
That's it. That it for me. Yeah. Slán